Welcome to part 23, and we are now in our third dungeon of the game. A water dungeon. Yay. However, I find this one not as bad as the Water Temple of Ocarina of Time and the Lakebed Temple of Majora's Mask. And here's one of the reasons why. See right here? I can actually use my sword underwater. Look at that. Look at that. See, I feel better already. You know, in past games that feature a Link going underwater, well, you cannot use a sword. You have to rely on an item known as the hook shot, well, in the case of Ocarina of Time, or use Zora Link in certain sections. You know, the Zora boomerangs and swimming abilities and whatnot, but here, we can just rely on plain old sword combats, and already that's makes me a little bit happy. Now, after we avoid all these jellyfish enemies, we will surface and be introduced to the temple proper. Lakebed. Yeah, Lakebed Temple. Now, this area here contains a couple of treasure chests that are essentially resupplies of items, namely arrows and bombs. And this area contains a bunch of chews. And again, you can scoop the red ones up and they'll be just like red potions. And try to avoid any other flavors, the purple chews especially, because again, their effects are random. One time I accidentally scooped up a purple chew, and in order to get rid of it, I have to use the contents of it. And that's the thing, we cannot just dump empty bottles worth of... We cannot dump a bottle of stuff, we have to actually use it, and that's kind of what sucks about it. Ugh. And I had the unfortunate effect of consuming the purple chew jelly, and it brought me down to 1 heart. Well, thankfully I managed to kill a red chew immediately, scooped it up, and got my health back up, but still. Avoid purple chews at all costs. Now, I'm going to go ahead and tell you this, that this place could be the love child of Ocarina's Water Temple and Majora's Lakebed Temple, because, well, it takes certain elements. From Ocarina of Time, you use water manipulation to reach certain areas, and in Lakebed Temple, you have to use switches in order to activate water flows, change the direction of the water, and so on and so forth. And look, blue tektites, and you're just as pathetic as the red ones. See? In fact, there are many familiar water enemies from different Zelda games here. Now this thing right here, I'm not familiar with that guy. This thing here, and that one right there, they're known as the Helmosaurs. They are these armored little rats or reptiles or something, and their only weakness is from their behind. And guess what sword technique we just learned that takes out an enemy from the behind? However, I'm not using the backslice here because, well, there's not enough room to do a proper backslice. Plus, it's easier just to avoid them and attack them when they've stopped. So, sometimes the special techniques can be more of a hindrance than helpful. And we get a nice little camera panning of this big area right here. I don't know why. We never actually enter this swirly pool area, thank goodness. And I can see there's jellyfish enemies here. I don't know why. We never actually enter the area, but whatever. And oh look, another familiar Zelda enemy, the Lizardfoes. And that was a boss or enemy. Yeah, you can tell that they're kind of pathetic, but still, a good way to defeat them is to stun them with a shield attack and then hit them. And look at this place right here. This is the central hub of the Lakebed Temple. It's actually a nice looking place. I mean, it's pretty decent. Well, I mean, with the exception of the Tektites, but I mean, I'm sure once we clear this place of all the monsters and get the fused shadow, the enemies will be gone, right? Right? Well, unfortunately, in typical Zelda fashion, when we clear a dungeon and re-enter it, the monsters will still be there. Kinda sucks, but what are we to do? And here's a little fun, a little tidbit. Before we enter this place, if you talk to some of the Zora in Zora's domain, they will explain that there are Zora trapped in the Lakebed Temple when the monsters attacked. But unfortunately, we do not see any Zora, which means they are probably dead. Pretty dark, but of course this game is dark. It is rated T for teen. And to tell you the truth, Majora's Mask is dark in certain areas as well, and it's rated E for everybody. I suppose it's due to all the realistic looking graphics and whatnot, but yeah. Anyway, what I'm doing right now is I'm manipulating the staircase to Link's favor. All you have to do is run to a switch, jump off, and grab and pull down the switch, and the staircase will come directly to you. And that's actually kind of a cool feature. I mean, say you want to go here, pull the switch, you're there. And I bet you people who are riding those, riding on the staircase while people are pulling the switch are probably thinking, wee or something. So, yeah. Oh, hi there. Well, look who it is. Human-headed chicken lady. How did you get underwater? How'd you... Well, it makes sense. She has the power of teleportation. She could have teleported herself down here. But, still, to find her in this place while Link is here. Such an amazing coincidence. But I will go ahead and explain that Okai is actually looking for something. And, well, we will figure out that something later on in this game. In the meantime, we will manipulate the staircase to actually go in this direction because we need to head eastward. Now, technically, there is the dungeon map in this central chamber, but I didn't pick it up right away. Probably should have, but I didn't. You know why? Because I kind of know the layout of this place. I played this game a lot. I kind of know where to go, what to do. And to tell you the truth, I have not used a dungeon map in any of these Zelda games yet. I might have opened it up occasionally to locate a boss or a treasure chest I missed, but so far in this game, I have not relied on the dungeon map, so... So here we are in this place. It's like a bunch of platforms on chains. And oh, come on. That stupid chain. Yeah, bomb arrows are going to be your friends friends in this dungeon. Excuse me. Yeah. But thankfully, there are a bunch of refills of arrows here, as well as a bunch of bombs. And I have 3 bags worth of bombs on me, so it's not like I'm going to run out of any bomb arrows anytime soon. And there we go. You know, that stalactite on that water sprout. Just gotta wait for it to go up to your level to jump across and get that treasure chest. And that inside will be a small key, so yay. Now, I want to go ahead and explain a little bit more about Link's Zora armor right here. For one, it's actually armor. It's not a Zora tunic like in Ocarina of Time. In Ocarina of Time, you get the Zora tunic, and it's essentially a blue coloring of Link's normal tunic. Of course, at the time, they were dealing with, again, Nintendo 64 level graphics. Here, thanks to late GameCube, early Wii graphics, we get to see more detail. We can see nice little bits of armor. We can see the flipper boots Link wears. And Link's shirt that he's wearing, it's actually a short sleeve shirt. Yeah, we're actually seeing some of Link's skin. Ooh. And I mentioned before about when Link is underwater, he has a mask over his nose and mouth. That pretty much helps him breathe. And that headgear he's wearing, well, yeah, it resembles a Zora's tail because I'm assuming a Zora once put it on, once used it. Or I'm guessing because, I mean, even though the Zora Queen explained that her husband made this thing for the chosen hero, wouldn't it, I mean, it'd be kind of weird if the chosen hero was, if he intended for the chosen hero to be Hylian or human, he would not have added the fish tail because, well, it makes sense when you think about it because, remember, Link's gimmick is green tunic and floppy hat. This here, because it resembles the Zora tail and Link has no Zora tail, it's pretty much a floppy hat for the floppy hat variant for underwater, so now I'm serious. This place here can be underneath an ocean and you couldn't tell a difference. I mean, this might as well be a ocean temple or whatnot, so in fact, if we were playing Wind Waker, this would be underwater by now. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, I might as well go ahead and explain as I work my way through this place. Well, Twilight Princess takes place hundreds of years after Ocarina and Majora's Mask. Now, I've said that Wind Waker also takes place hundreds of years after Ocarina of Time. And no, there is no discrepancy. Both of them take place hundreds of years after Ocarina. The reason both of them exist at roughly the same time period, well, they take place in alternate timelines. Here's what happened. Back in Ocarina of Time, at the end, adult Zelda sent Link back to his childhood, and when she did that, it created a separate timeline. And in that timeline, Link, now a child again, managed to warn the royal authorities of Hyrule, Princess Zelda, the King of Hyrule, about Ganondorf's treachery. And because of that, Ganondorf never got a chance to enter the Sacred Realm, and the events of the adult timeline and Wind Waker never happened in the timeline I'm playing right now. Are we confused yet? Don't worry. I'll try and clarify as we go through. Anyway, right here, I am actually above the cog, which is actually above the room where we got the first small key. So, if we were happen to fall down and if we happen to go through the cogs, we will end up back in the room where we got the first small key. So, that would kind of suck. Of course, I just got myself another small key, and as you can see, I cannot go this way at the moment. So, we're going back to that central room. Cogs. See, this is the portion of Lakebed that reminds me of Lakebed Temple. Cogs and war cogs and cog manipulation and gears and whatnot. Again, I like this water temple a bit better than the other two. So, but not by much. Not by much. It's still a water dungeon. So. And here is me being an idiot, because as you can see here, when I go this way right here and try to go the other way to that door, well, I can't because the height is a little bit too high for me. And of course, there are chews, and you don't want that. Unless you want the red one if you need some more potion, if you want to heal yourself, but hey. I'm good. I still have a red potion. I still have 2 fairies. Do I have 2 fairies? Yeah, I have 2 fairies. Wait, do I have 2 fairies at this time? It's been a while since I played this. It's been a while, so... Let's see here. See, there's me finally wising up and going this way. And ow! No. See, just ignore them. Just run. And here we are in this place right here. And this thing right here, this thing here is known as the chew worm. And the chew worm will go inside this big old bubble where it will be invulnerable. Now, as you can see right here, I took out its bubble with a bomb arrow. And once there is no bubble, we can kill the sucker with some well-timed sword hits. Now, there's another way to kill the chew worm thing, and we'll see it later on in this playthrough. In fact, I will show it in the next video. Yes, I know, game. I got a yellow ruby. Thank you for pointing out the obvious. And now let's climb this lakeweed vines. I mean, I can't say seaweed because technically we are not under the sea, even though portions of this place suggest that we should be under the sea. But it's a lake. I mean, do lakes have barnacles? Do they have underwater? I know there are fish. I know there are other things, but maybe barnacles that can live in fresh water. I'm no biologist. I'm no marine expert. And Tectike stand no chance against the mighty sword. Climbing. What we're doing right here is we need to walk all the way to the top. Come here, you. Good. And die. Thank you. And what we have to do here is... Well, first of all, there's another refill of bombs. Yay. See, we're never going to run out of bombs in this dungeon. No. As I was saying, there's a switch here we need to pull down, and that will activate the water flow, which will raise the level in this room below us, which will allow us to reach another lever, which will activate the water flow that will bring it to the main central chamber place. And look at this right here. Whee! You slip and slide and see, this place can be fun once we get rid of all the monsters. If we get rid of all the monsters, that is. I mean, I'm sure the Zora were probably at this temple. They probably do their sermons and whatnot. And then afterwards, the children and the adults alike would come here. They would go upwards, play with the switches, go down this nice little water slide. And yeah, I mean, this would be a nice little attraction. So, the gates open. The water will be flowing in the outward. And now we can go out this way. So, yeah. Now here's the thing. Once we enter the room with the cog, speaking of the cogs and wheels, this thing is turning, and that's, yeah. And when you go under here, for example, just gotta be careful. You just gotta time it just right because some of the levels of these cog things are, well, they can block you. Blue chews. Now, blue chews right here. I probably should explain about the blue chews. I know the purples are random, the reds are for bread potion, yellows are for the lantern oil, and well, let's see, blue chews, blue. The blue chews, here we go. Blue chews restore all of Link's health. They are essentially like blue potions. I should probably go ahead and explain blue potions because, well, I will get some blue potions later on. potions in this game are, like I said earlier, if you get a red potion and you use it, they can fill up to 8 hearts. They don't fill you up completely like in past Zelda games. The reason is, again, Link here does not get a magic meter. Don't know why. I mean, it would have been cool to have magic, but yeah. And because there are no Link does not have magic, Link will not have any green potions, meaning no green chews or whatnot. So they kind of have to make it fair. And so they have to adjust the blue potions so that, well, so that it will fill all of your health. So, it kind of sucks, kind of confusing if you don't not. I mean, red potions are usually meant to fill all of your health, but since we have no, why am I talking about potions? I'm good. Anyway, as you just saw, thanks to water manipulation, the level of this, the water level has risen slightly. We need to raise it a little bit more to reach the central island pillar thing, because that is the way to the boss. Yep, the boss door is just right there. It's just a matter of water manipulation and more switches, and yay. Water, lots of water everywhere. Now, thanks to the water activation earlier, the gear here is actually moving, and thus the platforms with it. So what we have to do now is just ride the platforms to certain doors and, well, get to our destination. And right here, we're supposed to jump off here. There we go. Now, do not go through that door up ahead. Why? Well, you'll find out in the next video. All we have to do here is just get the key to move onward. And there are more chews here. All right, back to the topic of chews right quick. I've seen pictures, I've seen some beta footage of a green shoes, which means at one point Link was to have a magic meter, but again, for some reason or another that's beyond my control, they took out the magical portion. So again, red potions equal 8 hearts, blue potions equal all hearts. And that's settled once and for all, and I won't speak of it again unless it's absolutely necessary. And the Hemlosaur is kicking my behind right now. Come on. Speaking of behind, just moon me or something. I want to kill you with... There we go. See, money's good. I love pots filled with money, even though it's just a 5 rupee money thing. But hey, money's good all around. And if you've noticed, every time I've killed a Hemlosaur, its armor is left behind. That's a good attention to detail, I guess. So, Anyway, down here we will be encountering more of these jellyfish enemies. And those jellyfish enemies are known as the Berry. Yeah, Berry, or the Bari, if you want to pronounce it like that. And they've appeared in past Zelda games before, especially in Ocarina of Time, where we had to go inside a giant fish, Lord Jabu Jabu. And yeah, they're back in this place too. I mean, speaking of Lord Jabu Jabu, does he exist in this timeline? I mean, I know there's a Jaboon, which could be Jabu Jaboon in Wind Waker's future, but I don't know. I'm rambling. As you saw here, by wearing the iron boots, I can just ignore those air currents and, well, get all those yummy treasures. Well, one of them's a bomb. One of those treasure chests are bombs, so yeah, again, I won't be running out of explosives anytime soon. And don't worry, we will have a chance to kill these jellyfish things, but we'll need an item to do so. And look, Just ignore the shell blade. Anyway, we will face our mini boss in part 24. See you then.